Hi, everyone. Welcome into My Chamber TV. We are the heartbeat of the Tampa Bay community. I'm your host, Barbara Marville Kelly, and we are actually featuring the Palm Harbor Chamber of Commerce. We are here on location at the ReMax Elite brokerage, and my first very special guest is Kim Adams.
Thank you.
And
nice
we've done this before a few times, haven't we?
We have a couple times. Yes.
How exciting. I love being able to come on location, and you are like a pillar in the community. I mean, you're like the icon with ReMax over here in Palm Harbor. I mean, how do you keep up with yourself?
I have been very busy, yes, with the chamber. I do a lot of chamber activities. So,
you do?
Yes, in addition to ReMax and all the real estate work out there, but keeps me hopping. I like it that way. Wouldn't have it any other way.
Oh, isn't that the truth? It's exciting to see what's happening in real estate today, right?
Yes, it is.
So how long have you been in real estate?
I have been in real estate in Florida. I'm going on my 4th year now, and then about 5 years in Indiana, but that was years ago. So love Florida. We had a business in Indiana that we sold in 2012, moved down here, and been doing real estate down here, and it's a fun market. It's fun here.
It is fun now.
Yeah.
It really is fun now.
Now, you say.
At one time, it was good. Well, you know how it goes,
Yes,
ups, downs.
yes.
So what's happening in real estate with
Okay,
you?
there's so much happening in real estate. It's still very active. You may hear that the days on market have extended a little bit than maybe a year ago.
Yes.
But it's still very active. I mean, as an example, I had a listing I put on the MLS in 23 minutes. I had a phone call in 2 hours. I had a full priced offer. So it still happens, the multiple offer and the quick activity sometimes, but you know, that has slowed down just a tiny bit. But there are so many programs out there. There's actually no reason not to be in the house of your dreams right now. There's
I'm so glad
many
to hear you say
programs out there.
Yeah, and when you say programs,
Yes.
financing.
Financing, yes, which you'll hear more about later.
Yes, you will.
Yep.
And the other thing is there's a reason why you're getting these listings sold in a short amount of time. Let's
Yes.
talk about that for a minute.
Okay.
If you happen to be a homeowner, you want to list your home, you want to, buy a home, it's almost like a science, right?
Yeah.
Right. Price it right.
Price. That's huge.
It might sell overnight.
Price it right. Don't come in too high. When they're priced right, they're going to go. They're going to go quick. If they're move-in ready, especially.
Yes.
Get it as move-in ready as possible and price it right, and that's what everybody's looking for.
What is move-in ready?
Move-in ready. So if it needs some updates, update it a little bit. Get it. Make sure, especially kitchen and baths.
Yes.
Everybody wants nice kitchen and baths. Flooring is another big thing. If it's all carpet and it's dated, switch it out. Even if it's even if it's not an expensive laminate, just put something else down besides the carpet. Pull that out of there. That'll help get it move-in ready and get it to be with the property that everybody's looking for. And if you're buying, don't let anything stop you, because there's down payment assistance programs out there. $7,500 down payment assistance if you qualify. $15,000 some down payment assistance programs. I even recently heard of a $40,000 one in Pinellas County. Had you heard of that one?
I had not heard about that one.
I was amazed. So it's more of a 20-year forgivable thing.
Sure.
But it's a great program too. So there's money out there. It's limited, so it's not going to last forever.
Sure.
But it's a great resource. And even if you're renting, there's cool programs. I'm working with another company called Home Partners of America that will go out and they pay cash for the home that you want to rent. And you pick the house out. You go out and pick out the house that you want. They buy it. They pay cash for it. And then you have the option of purchasing it down the road, or you can rent it for up to 5 years. So a lot of tenants are running out of, they're there for a year, and then they're told by the landlord, oh, we're selling, you got to go.
Right.
And with this one, you were at least guaranteed for 3 to 5 years. You're not going to have to move.
That is a very, very good point that you're bringing up, because there are renters out there. There's renters that are coming here from out of state. I mean, the influx. In fact, our chief of the Palm Harbor Chamber of Commerce, Mr. Skip Alford, was telling me, this was about 2 years ago, that he gave the stats on the amount of people that are moving to Florida was between 600 and 700 a day.
Huge, yeah.
So you're right. There is no time like the present time to make a decision. If you've been dreaming about selling, if you've been dreaming about buying, you know what? Now is really the time to do it. So let's talk about if somebody's maybe in that renting stage, they're ready to buy. And they come in, talk with you, and you do a little scope of where they want to go and help them out that way. Getting pre-qualified.
Yes.
How hard is that, or how easy, or how important is that?
Well, it's the very first step. That's if you're at that stage where you're considering buying, the very first thing I would say to do is get with the lender and get pre-qualified, because then you can see what you can afford and what your payment can be and the options that are available for you. And then they can also help you if there's things that you need to clean up on your credit or things like that. They'll walk you through that and help you get your credit worthiness there. And so getting pre-qualified is the definite first step.
That's the key.
Yeah. It doesn't take long.
No, it really doesn't. And we're going to be talking about that in the show here today. Yes. But seriously, if you're thinking about looking at homes, and they all go on those, Realtor.com and Zillow, whatever.
Yes.
You know what? Go with a licensed professional that can really sit down and create a relationship with you. You will get to know Kim because you embrace your customers, and I know that you give heart. I've known you for a good little while, and it's so great to be able to have you on an interview today and to let you know that these are really important things that you can cut out a whole lot of wasted time. And my favorite phrase is time is our most valuable commodity.
Yes.
So when you're working with a licensed real estate professional, that is definitely going to help save you time, but also give you guidance. And the thing is that, the average customer doesn't know about agency relationship, which is a whole other story right there, right?
Oh, yeah. I've heard horror stories when people try to work without an agent, and they really get taken advantage of.
I know.
If you're buying, it doesn't cost you anything to have an agent.
That's right.
So you're really doing yourself a disservice if you go out and try to buy without an agent on your side representing you and helping you. Recently, I know of someone who paid probably $200,000 or $300,000 over what they should have paid.
What?
And they were really taken advantage of. It was like a $1.6 million house.
Oh, dear. But even still.
Even then, at any rate, if you're buying, definitely.
Was it cash?
Nope, wasn't cash.
Really?
Nope.
Was it? I'm just curious for my own. Was it priced? I mean, it was priced right.
It was overpriced, and there was some shadiness that I could say that took place, and I know they were taken advantage of. But after the fact, it's
what are you going to do, right?
Yeah,
I know, but and those things do happen in real life, so you can avoid that by hooking up with a licensed professional.
Yes.
And now, have you been at this ReMax office for the 4 years?
I have been here just a little over a year now.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, love this office.
What do you love about ReMax?
Love ReMax. Love the brand. Love the global recognition of ReMax. Love all the tools, and they're on the top of technology. So all the latest technology regarding apps, websites, any tool, the listing tools. There's so much about ReMax that I love. I had been with ReMax in Indiana years ago, so knew I wanted to be back with them. And then this particular office I love. We're a real cozy family feeling.
Oh, that's so nice.
Help each other out. It doesn't have that competitive feel. Like, people think of realtors as being all competitive and tooth and nail fighting or whatever, but we're actually partners. I know, we need the other agent. I need the other agent to show my listings.
Of course.
I need their buyers. So, we all work together. Almost every transaction involves two agents. So we're partners, and we're not.
And that is a good point.
Yes.
For you to know as a seller, as a buyer, because when you go into a professional real estate office, this is what I'm wanting. If I'm a customer and I'm coming in, I want to see that camaraderie. And you're so right. It's like in any business, there is that, all that kind of crazy stuff going on.
Right.
But the point that you brought up about the tools, I'm very familiar with the tools.
Yes.
And those tools, it's really interesting because I just learned this past Tuesday that some of the brokers are not, they aren't tool ready.
Right.
They're not tool current. And what that tool means to you is how effective Kim is going to be in listing your home. Right?
Exactly. Yes.
And or helping you find a home. It's all about the tools. It's just all about the tools and just that relationship with your office and your colleagues, and I'm so glad to hear that.
Yes, and here in Florida we have people coming from all over the world, that come here to look. Yeah. And we are so recognized globally, all over the world, that it's nice to know when they're coming into town, they're picking up the phone and they're looking for a ReMax office. Yeah. So because that's what they know and that's what they're comfortable with. They know that we're a good established company and have a good reputation. So
that's what it's all about. It really is. What is your most fun thing to do? Or is it all?
Besides
knowing you, it's probably everything.
Well, one of my fun things to do is going on a motorcycle rides with my husband.
Cool.
Yeah, that was one of the reasons why we moved to Florida, because we could ride year round.
Oh yeah.
We do a month-long motorcycle trip in the middle of the summer in August, and we went to Nova Scotia last summer on a motorcycle, over 7,000 miles. Yeah.
How fun.
And so yeah, in my downtime, when I'm free on a weekend, we get on the motorcycle and go on trips. This year we're going to go to California. So
very nice.
I had never done the coast of California.
Very nice. Well, it looks like we're getting ready to wind down here.
All right.
But I wanted to squeeze that in. See, she's a real person. She takes time for fun and all of that.
That's right.
So, Kim Adams, give us your phone number.
727-300-6560. That's 727-300-6560.
Exactly. Give her a call. Just have a little chat with her. I know you're going to love her. We'll be right back more on My Chamber TV. Hi everyone, welcome back into My Chamber TV. We are the heartbeat of the Tampa Bay community. We are here on location at ReMax Elite, and we're featuring the Palm Harbor Chamber of Commerce. My next guest is Alan Adams with May Solar Electric. Welcome. It's great to have you with us today.
Great to be on here.
Now, tell me all about your position over there. Are you one of the electricians?
No, I just do the sales, and the main reason I did the sales is I studied it to put it on my house.
Oh.
And then in the process, I started going out. I do home inspections too, and I started seeing systems that wasn't a good quality system, and it wasn't up to par, and I didn't like solar getting a bad name. So then I talked to them about selling for them and talking to people, and because we put it on our house 2 years ago, and we haven't had an electric bill since.
Really? You know, that's really interesting how you got into that. So you had a passion for that personally for your own home. You went and studied it to learn it, and then ended up with this company in sales.
The main reason I studied it is because I wanted to make sure I knew what I was getting and what was out there, because it is an investment, so when you invest in your house, I want to make sure I had the right equipment with the right company, for the right price.
Sure.
And so I started researching things, and then I had a friend in Indiana that kind of knew a little bit about it, so I talked to him.
That's really cool. Let's talk about solar. Well, obviously to save on electric bills, because our electric bills down here in the state of Florida, they're astronomical. I mean, we're already starting to get hit, and this is what, just barely March. So let's talk about how that works, basically, for somebody that's, is not even the slightest bit familiar, and how you get started. What kind of costs are involved? Just roughly to get started for, say, maybe a small home.
Usually probably between 15 and 25,000 is mostly for most homes, and you usually get your return on your money in about 7 to 8 years. You'll get all your money back. Plus, in the meantime, you'll have almost no bill or a very small bill. So it's a little bit of investment, so it kind of scares people, but I'm like, you spend money on a car, and it's not going to make you a whole bunch of money, but this is something you already need. You need electricity, and who doesn't want to have no bill or almost no bill?
Exactly, especially here.
Yeah.
So how do you get started with that? I mean, obviously have you come out and give us a quote, and the installation and that type of thing. What does that entail?
Well, the first thing we do is we get your electric bill, and we take what your usage was for the whole year. They can calculate it. You got a program that picks up on your roof, and it'll show where all the strongest sun is on the roof. And then we'll take what you've been using for the last year and average it per month to break it down, because you try to break even at the end of the year on your bill and your usage. So pretty much when you put it on your house, you make enough electricity, and it usually carries you the night. So you have Duke will come out, they'll install your system, Duke will come out and they'll put a reverse meter on, and it turns both directions. So during the daytime, of course it's going backwards, so you're banking credits. Then at the night it's going forward. And then it equals it out over, cloud, sun, they take that in consideration for the whole year.
That is very, very interesting. I would guess that it's pretty popular down here, too.
Yeah, it's getting real popular now. It's kind of a solar boom. Everybody's getting in it, and everybody's coming from any state. These companies are popping up from anywhere. And that's the thing with May. They've been here 13 years. Their primary source of business has been solar for over 11 years.
Oh.
So they're one of the very few companies that's been doing solar primarily as their income here in the state of Florida.
So they're obviously doing well.
Yep.
So how do they differ from some of the other solar companies, do you find, in your experience? And you've been with them for how long?
I just been with them about 3 months.
Okay.
So I've had the system for about 2 years.
Okay, so you've already been experiencing it.
Well, it works for me. I hadn't had a bill. Who doesn't not want to have a bill? And then you can also budget. Like a lot of seniors come down here and now they're on a budget, and now they can set it up, on a budget for them where they're not having a bill. You have a payment until you pay it off or you pay cash for it. And then once you get past that, the warranties on the systems now are 25 years on parts, labor, and performance of the equipment. So it's carefree for 25 years.
Carefree, that is music to my ears. That definitely is. And I would think that that would also help, being that we are at ReMax and it's all about homes and all of that. When we have the right tools in our home, I would guess that that would also be a selling tool to have that solar power.
Yeah, if I had a house next, two houses next to each other, one of them had solar, I'd be willing to pay a little more because I know I'm not going to have a monthly bill.
Yeah.
Or close to it. So
exactly.
To me, they're saying by 2030, 80% of all homes and businesses will have it.
No kidding. 2030?
That's what they're saying. In California now, any new homes being built have to have solar on them.
That's very, very interesting.
So it's coming.
Yeah, it is coming. And I'm thinking about the homes that have the vaulted ceilings, the cathedral ceilings. I'm thinking that that in itself would also help homes like that, having the solar power. Am I off on that?
Well, it's just going to eliminate your, pretty much eliminate your electric bill.
Yeah.
For your home. So it's to me, it's almost a no-brainer. I'm getting 12% back of my investment every year. I paid like $22,000. My bill was about $200 a month, so it's 12%. There aren't too many things you can invest in and make 12% back on your return that's guaranteed.
Good point. And what size was your home, or what is it? The same, obviously the same home. So what size is it?
My house is like 1,400 square feet. I put a 9.6 WK system on the house.
Okay.
It's covered. And then I have a big, huge garage, and I planned on wiring it, so I made it a little bit bigger to fit my future needs. To cover everything.
So I'm thinking we have a villa. It was just under roof, under 2,000 square feet. My highest bill is already up to $350 a month. Now I like it cool, but I mean that's a lot, and that goes for month after month after month here in the summer months. And I have the darkening on the windows and everything, but it's still high. Yeah. So this really makes a lot of sense.
Yeah, it's something everybody's going to have electricity, and everybody likes keeping their house cool in Florida, so it's just a way so you can install it on your house, and it's going to save you a lot of money over time. Like my system, it's like $75,000 above and beyond what I pay for it just for the time that the system's going to be installed on my house. And even after 25 years, it doesn't mean it's not going to work. It just means it's going to maybe not perform as good as new, like anything, but they have a warranty on them that covers performance as well. So if they drop below a certain percentage in those 25 years, they replace them with no charge. So each panel.
Really?
Yeah.
After 25 years?
Up to 25.
Up to 25 years. I was going to say, okay. Up to 25 years, they'll replace. Okay, no charge. That's great.
And that's parts, labor, everything.
Parts,
and a lot of
labor.
people all worry about, oh, you know, what if my roof leaks? We're going to install it on my roof. Well, they have a warranty on the system, that racking system that's installed to your roof, that the panels hooked to. It covers 20 years of warranty.
Nice.
On the panels.
Very, very nice. So let's talk about the roof. Any type of roof?
Yeah, you can put it on metal, flat. You know, it might be a little different expenses for tile. It's a little higher because it's a little tougher process to go through the tile roofs, and the danger of, you know, breaking them because they're very fragile when you walk on them.
Exactly, especially an older roof. That's very interesting. What about the style of roofs? The hip, the gable?
It doesn't matter.
Doesn't matter?
No, whenever you do the analysis on the sun, it picks up where the sun is the greatest exposure on your roof, and usually southern is the best, and then east and west. Now you got to take in factors if you have trees or something, you know, then it might not, it doesn't work for everybody, but generally, you know, if you have some exposure and you're in Florida, it's sunny most of the time.
Yeah, exactly, exactly. Wow, this is really enlightening. I'm glad to hear all about this. Sounds like you really love what you do too.
Yeah, it's when I researched it, then, you know, I didn't know a lot about it. I started researching it, and then when I started seeing the different kind of systems, you know, a lot of the old systems are like the Christmas tree light bulbs. You got one bulb that goes bad, and you got to take the whole thing off the Christmas tree. Well, those systems aren't the systems you want. You want a system that's got a microinverter on each panel, and then we use to tie it all in an in-phase system, so you don't have it converts the DC power to the AC power right at the panel. And so each panel runs as its own, where a lot of the systems, they have a central inverter, and that central inverter, if it goes down, the whole system goes down. So.
I was just going to ask you about maintenance and what we should know when we're thinking about going into a solar system, right? So can you give our viewers some pointers? I mean, everybody does comparison shop. We call around and we do all the phone calling and drive ourselves crazy. Let's cut to the chase. What's the best thing? I'm going to call you. Sell me on this system. Why do I want to go with you guys?
Well, we're a local company, locally owned, family owned. We've been around, and we'll even meet with you, and if you got a competitive, and we'll tell you if it's a good system, if it's a good deal. I mean, that's the way I look at it. Is, you know, it sells itself, and most of these companies won't give you what you're paying per watt. I'll tell you what you're paying per watt. They want to tell you everything else. And what your payment is, you know, hey, if you buy it now, you're only paying X amount of dollars a month. Well, I want to know what I'm paying for the whole thing per watt, and we're not going to, you know, with me, I tell them the truth, whether, you know, the whole truth about it, and give them an honest opinion. Whether if you got another company you're thinking about buying with us, shop around. That's what I tell everybody.
That is fabulous. So if somebody wanted to call you and get this information, what I basically understand is you break it down for them.
Yep.
So that you can really understand it and make an informed decision on what to do, where to go, who to call. We only have about 30 seconds remaining. Give us your name again.
Alan Adams.
And your phone number to call you?
317 area code 407-6004.
All right. And can we get a hold of you and get you out like soon, or is there a big wait time?
Nope, just call me and we'll schedule an appointment.
Oh, that is so great. I'll tell you, solar is a way to go. If you want to save on your bill, you have to get a hold of this gentleman. We'll be right back after these messages. Hi, everyone. Welcome back into My Chamber TV. I'm Barbara Marville Kelly. Thank you so much for joining us. We are on site down in Palm Harbor, featuring the Palm Harbor Chamber of Commerce, of course, at the ReMax Elite brokerage. And we have our next guest coming here to do a nice interview on mortgages, a big, big deal today, especially if you're thinking of buying a home, selling a home, all that kind of stuff. Tony Johncola is with GSF Mortgage. You're the branch manager there,
Correct.
Right?
Yes.
Okay, why do we want to come to you? What is so great about your mortgages today?
Well, like you said, it's a very important part of the process, whether you're buying a house, renovating a house, wanting to use some of the wealth you've built in the house equity. So we have access to all of that. I've been in the mortgage business now, real estate and mortgage business, for 19 years.
Nice.
So the experience really does pay off for our clientele. One of the big advantages I think that we present is we have a full array of products. So, you know, first-time home buyer usually go to the FHA side or the government side. We do a tremendous amount of VA loans. We have the jumbo product, which is anything over $484,500. And now there's a segment of the market that's really growing called the non-QM market, which is not completely tied up in the same regulations as some of the more conventional product. And so that gives you, especially for business owners and things like that, alternative doc, bank statement loans, things of that nature. So it's quite an array of product. I've worked in the real estate industry, like I said, for 19 years, so I understand that part of the equation as well. And I think that's really important when you're working with a client to understand what they're feeling and going through. It's not just that part of the process, the mortgage side of the equation, but everything they're doing. Like when you talked to Kim earlier in the show, you know, they're going through a lot in that process. So to be able to understand everything that's going on, I think adds a great deal of support to the client and to our realtor partners.
And that's really an important key factor. You're right. It's all about building relationships. I talked to Kim about that even before we started the show today, because you want to have that comfort zone and that trust factor, especially when you're talking about mortgages. And the average person out there, especially if they haven't done a mortgage in a while, things change. And of course, if you've been in the business in real estate for the last 19 years, up, down, sideways. It's been crazy, right?
Well, it's been crazy, and the regulations are always moving. I think the fact of the matter is, though, it's really never been easier to get a mortgage. And I think there's a great misconception out there in the marketplace of how difficult this process is. And it's not. You do have to be organized, obviously. You have to be able to come up with some paperwork to document income and assets and things like that. But it's very reasonable. You know, our average customer gives us 2 years tax returns, sometimes only W-2s, 2 months bank statements, a copy of their ID, a few other things, and we're getting them to the closing table. So it's not terrible, but it is very daunting for the person that does it every 3, 5, or 7 years. We're doing it every day, so we make it sound easy.
Right.
But if you're coming into the market and you haven't done it for a while, you have a right to be, you know, somewhat apprehensive.
Sure.
And especially today when everybody wants to go on the internet and try and find information.
Oh, don't do that.
Well, it's true.
I know.
So I mean, I think the fact to have somebody here locally in the marketplace, my processor's right in the office. We work with a tremendous amount of local realtors. We put that local flair on what they're doing and access.
Yeah.
You know, so you can put a name to a face. You can call us from 8 in the morning till 9 o'clock at night. You can't do that when you're punching buttons on the internet. So these are things we bring to the equation I think can really make a difference.
Don't you find that people are really getting back to basics of communication with people in business today as opposed to that? I mean, I know we have all that. The digital age is here. It's here to stay. But people still want that personal relationship.
I think I think that the pendulum is tilting back in that direction. I think that what I've said more recently is technology is a tool. It's not a crutch, right? So you can't just do everything at the punch of a button. You do want to have that relationship.
Sure.
You know, you want somebody that can advise you on the process, you know? So when you come to us and you talk about it, we're not just going to take your data. We're going to see how that fits into your overall lifestyle. I mean, owning a home, using the mortgage process, you can really build wealth that way. You know, so I mean, it's a really important that you talk to the right person and not just talk to maybe a bot on the internet that's answering your questions.
That is so true. And the other thing is talking to somebody that really does have some serious experience, because you've been in so many different scenarios, and you're building wealth and education when you're working with your clients, right?
Yeah, I definitely pride myself along with my team in taking a look at what's happening in a particular file and being able to put that jigsaw puzzle together so that it best fits the client. You know, not everything is black and white when it comes to the lending world. So, you know, whereas somebody might think they want it, we just did it yesterday. Perfect example. Somebody came in asking about down payment assistance programs, and we offer those. We have access to them. But when we looked at it and we dug deep in it, it wasn't the best situation for her. So we restructured the deal And it's better for the consumer in the long run over what is a 30-year period. Now, likely she's not going to own the home for 30 years, but even in the short term, it's a better deal for her. So to be able to do that for somebody, that's where I take great pride in what we do. Not just to really listen to the consumer's needs and give back to them choices so that they can make an informed decision on what's best for them.
Exactly. And there's a lot to be said for that. Let's talk just briefly about, I know there's no perfect scenario, but let's talk about a good scenario. You know, somebody comes to you, they know what they want to purchase, this is what they have to put down. What's the best case scenario for you and your client?
Well, I think it's simple, and I would say I think that more people qualify than they give themselves credit for. So I think the smart thing is to at least start the process. And you could look online on our reviews and see what people are saying. Obviously, a credit score north of 600, so it's really not a very high barrier that we're setting, but a credit score north of 600. If you have some access to 3 to 5% of the purchase price, that's going to make the process easier, and then you build from there. Obviously, we do have to document W-2 or tax returns. A lot of people come to us and say, well, I had a small job gap. Well, let us look at that. Let's see what that really means, because in the government world, the FHA world, that might be easily overcome. So I think the best scenario is to pick up the phone and let us talk about your particular situation. Don't rule yourself out because you're afraid that somebody's going to say no. I will tell you, it's really hard to say no to buyers today. So we want to remove that sort of stigma where people are afraid of coming to the lender. Let us see if we can find a way to say yes. When others are saying no, we say go. Right? Go find your house of your dreams. Let us get the process started for you.
Right, right. And that's what we were talking earlier on about getting pre-qualified. That is critical even before you start looking for that dream home, because the last thing you want is a negative experience, right? They find their dream home, and then they go, oh, well, now let's go find out what we qualify. Oh, no, we can't qualify.
Had a conversation with one of our clients just the other day, said the lender said no. I said, well, let me take a look. And then it's funny, then we want to debate the other lender, and I'm not really here to do that. I want to look at your situation specifically and see what we could do to make it a yes. And the pre-qualification process, it is the first thing you want to do.
Yes,
you can go to GSFMortgageFL.com, start the process there if you want to. You could call me direct, 727-403-4185. We can start the process there. It's a 15 to 20-minute conversation. If you don't have a realtor affiliated with you already, you can use our realtor referral program. These are agents that really subscribe to customer first mentality, like a Kim Adams, that we can refer you to and help you out there. So there's so many things that happen when you make us your first call.
Yes.
And then we have a program called Finance First, where we actually will take a consumer, put them through the underwriting process, give them an underwriting certificate with their approval. So it's almost as good as going in with a cash transaction. The only thing they have to do then is get an appraisal, but we reimburse them for the cost of the appraisal because they've used our Finance First process. It's an amazing, amazing tool that a consumer can use and give themselves, I think Kim was saying about having a multiple offer situation. When you use that Finance First, your offer should shoot right to the top of the line because you're fully pre-approved.
Exactly.
Not pre-qualified, pre-approved.
And there is a difference. Pre-qualified, and really, it's great to get pre-qualified, but if you can get that pre-approval, you're ahead of the game with other people that are putting offers in. Believe me when I tell you, I've seen it happen all the time. So it's really great for you to share that as well and to come in and talk with you and just see where you're at. Don't give up, or don't be shy. Don't be afraid. You may very well qualify for a beautiful new home or pre-owned home, but you won't know until you actually sit down, put it on paper, and, you know, work with the numbers, right?
Yeah, absolutely. And let's not forget too, if you're not really ready to move yet, but you have some renovations that you need done, maybe before you put your home on the market.
Sure.
We have both the 203K and the Fannie Mae renovation products ready and at your disposal. So you could do repairs on your house that way instead of taking valuable cash out of your pocket. Use the equity. Most people have built over 10% equity in their home over the last few years. They could look at refinance options to finance some of those improvement projects, and or if they had maybe mortgage insurance on their original loan, we could remove that for you. So there's many ways to use the mortgage process as a wealth builder for homeowners and soon-to-be homeowners.
You know, Tony, it really comes down to education, don't you think?
I do think that.
It's the same with purchasing a home or selling a home. It comes right down to the education process. And once you have that, and I know, you know, things change from time to time. Real estate is this, it's that. And don't listen to all the stuff that you hear on the news, right? Do your own homework. Talk to a professional that can actually sit down with you, give you the information, get you pre-qualified, get you pre-approved, and then when you go ahead and put that offer in, you're going to be ahead of the game. Tony, give your number again. It's Tony Johncola.
727-403-4185.
This has been really great and very educational. I'm so thankful that you were able to come on the show today.
I appreciate you having me.
All right. Good luck.
Thank
Maybe
you.
we'll have some referrals for you.
Perfect.
And we'll be right back in just a few minutes here, and we're going to be talking more right here at ReMax Elite. Hi, everyone. Welcome back into My Chamber TV. We are the heartbeat of the community, and today we are featuring the Palm Harbor Chamber of Commerce right here in Palm Harbor. I'm very excited to be here because we are also going to be introducing someone who I have interviewed before and I have the utmost of respect for, Mr. Fred DeFelice.
Thank you.
Did I say that right?
That was perfect.
All right. Awesome. It's great to have you back again.
It's great to be with you.
You're a master plumber.
Second
generation, and you're with water science. And you were so impressive the last time when once I put my glasses on and I recognized you again. I thought, oh yes, we can talk about water. Water is the essence of our healthy being, is it not?
Absolutely.
Right. And you just pointed out this little poster that is way back from when?
1920s.
The 1920s. The plumber protects the health of the nation.
Yeah.
It's all about water. Let's talk about that. What is your system all about? What does it do for us? And I'm just going to like turn the show over. I want all the information so that you can call this gentleman.
Okay. Well, the place to start is our systems use no salt, and we actually purify the water. There's a lot of misconceptions about water treatment, and not to knock anything out there, but 30 years ago, the only thing we really had was a salt water softener.
Right.
And people are under the misconception that those systems actually purify the water. They do nothing but take out the hard minerals so you don't get scale. In the process, however, it puts sodium in the water. Sodium is not good to drink, so there's another complication with that.
Sure.
So with the new technology, and I've been dealing with this technology for about 10 years now, we first of all get rid of all the impurities in the water, and then we take care of the scale without removing the good minerals.
Okay. Okay. Then we need our minerals.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
And I love the testimonies we get from our customers, and mostly are women who are willing to open up and tell you how great their skin feels and how great their hair is and such.
And water is really the only substance that's absorbed through our skin.
Exactly.
So when we're taking a bath, we're taking a shower, that's going to really make a difference. Yeah. And then ingesting the right type of water. Okay, so in this world of sales and all these different companies and all these different methods, hydrogenated water, reverse osmosis, how mind-boggling is all of this? How can you reduce this down so it's easier for our viewer to really understand which way to go?
Yeah, we've actually simplified the process of water treatment. We do all the assembly and the manufacturing of the equipment in our facility in Tarpon Springs.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, we're a family-owned business. 2 out of my 5 sons are with me in
Oh,
business.
great.
Yeah, so you're dealing with us. We don't have a salesman going out, so there's no high-pressure sales. There's no high commissions to be paid.
That's music to our ears,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
Okay.
And we're doing the right thing, you know.
Yeah, you are doing the right thing.
And the price is incredible. We were able to keep the margins in line.
Mm-hmm.
We have financing where for less than $1 a day, you can actually own the system. The great thing about our systems is no maintenance for 3 years.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay. And then
So-
what? Then what happens?
Then we come back and we replace the meter in the system. Average cost of that is about $500. So over a 3-year period, it's very little. The big thing we're concerned about in our water today is the chloramine. And people don't realize chloramine is actually chlorine and ammonia mixed. And that's the deadliest combination you can ever imagine. In addition to that, twice a year they put more chlorine in the system to get rid of all the extra bacteria that results. Chloramine is the leading cause of pinhole in your copper pipe. In Florida, people have heard of having a slab leak.
I've had 2.
Yeah,
It's from my water.
absolutely.
Oh,
Yep. Water softeners with the sodium cause that, and the chloramine causes that. So you can have a filter in your refrigerator. That's not going to take out chloramine. So we designed a under-counter system, and we started out mainly with that to get rid of fluoride. And I wish our viewers would do their own research about that.
on fluoride. Yeah,
Yeah.
exactly.
So what we found, we actually were able to make the water truly alkaline as well. So our system now gets rid of the fluoride, pharmaceutical drugs, and now the new thing you're hearing about is microplastic particles.
What's
So-
that?
When we make our water, it truly is, water is life. And this is the best tasting water you can get right now.
You know, I haven't had this good tasting water since the last time you served me this.
I know.
It's true.
Yep.
Are you drinking from your water right now and you're happy with it, or do you have to kind of doctor it up when you make your coffee, extra flavored coffee made, or sugars and all of that isn't really healthy for us,
Not
right?
at all.
And you know, we're supposed to be drinking between 7 and 8, 9 glasses of water a day.
Yeah, close to a gallon.
Yeah, because it helps the system. It helps with the heart, right?
yeah.
In making sure that we're hydrated in Florida. But you know what? If you don't like drinking water, I can't. How many people do you talk to all the time? I don't like drinking water. Why do you think that is?
They're just spoiled with drinking Coke and soda.
But that's dehydrating.
It does.
Yeah.
The other thing, people say, oh, I got a reverse osmosis system.
Let's talk about that. What's the difference?
That's very acidic. A reverse osmosis system will remove fluoride and all the minerals. But at the
Okay.
same time, it makes the water very acidic.
Oh.
I was just put a system in for a gal. It turns out she has 4-stage cancer. She's been drinking out of an RO system for a couple of years, and she says, I'm always dehydrated, and she drinks a lot of water. You can drink all the water you want. You're not going to be hydrated with reverse osmosis water.
Wow, that
So
is.
the minerals are the most important thing in that.
Yeah.
Our system also hydrates the water, makes it hydrogen, so it gets into your cells much easier.
That's very interesting what you're saying, because to be able to drink the amount of water that we require, we need to have water that is tasty.
Yeah.
And I mean, I have been known to put lemon in my water, and I do have a system, but it's one of the typical ones that most people get.
Yeah.
But this is really taking your health to a different level, and even though we're not making any claims to cure or anything like that by drinking the water, but don't you want to drink water that is more pure than not? I mean, you're talking about taking pharmaceutical drugs out of the water,
Yep.
right? talking about alkaline, if it's my understanding correctly, I think we're supposed to have an alkaline system in our body.
Exactly.
Right?
Yep.
If it's more acidic, then you're more prone to, how can I say this, abnormal cells. How's that?
Yeah.
And so when we have something that, we want to drink and feel comfortable with and just know that it's really helping ourselves, that's definitely the way to go. How do you base the size of the system to your home?
Good question. Because of my background, we inspect your plumbing, inspect the water, test everything out, and then design the system to really fit your needs.
Really?
Yeah. Generally, the water treatment industry is one size fits all. We have sizes for mobile homes that require a smaller system, condos, normal homes, 2,000 square feet, and then up to estate-size homes. So we can do anything. We're also now treating well water systems.
Really?
Yeah,
That's
which
cool.
is another, has been a big problem in the area.
Oh my goodness, absolutely.
Yeah.
Why is it water science? Because I love science.
Yeah. Well, I tell you, over the years when I first came to Florida, I was so shocked by the water here, and I wanted to find a different way. And I got involved and I got in touch with actual scientists in the water industry. And through them, we were able to get together and find the right technologies to do the job without using salt, without wasting water.
So you really are definitely hands-on with this.
Oh, absolutely. And I love it.
I tell you, this is so tasty. It tastes like water really should,
Yeah.
When I first moved down here back in the early 80s, do you know that I was literally on my back? I could not get up because I was so nauseated, and I didn't know what it was from. And my mother-in-law at the time said, "Are you drinking the water?" I go, "Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm from Michigan. We had clean water up there. At least I thought we did." She said, "Don't drink the water."
Yeah.
So I stopped drinking the water. And I got so worked up and upset because I really didn't want to even move here anyway at the time. Okay, so I was already mad about that. But I had the water tested.
Yeah.
You know what I was told? I was absolutely appalled. This is the honest to God's truth. I had the water department come out, and they said, "Oh, yeah, you've got this, this, and that." And they showed me all this. And, yeah, we put whatever it takes as far as the chlorine. I didn't know anything about chloramine.
Yeah.
Chloramine, is that what you called it? So that's chlorine
And ammonia.
and ammonia. We're drinking that.
Yeah.
That's crazy. So I was told way back then that there's no limit to what they could put in back then. I don't know how it is today. You know what? I'm going to call them and get them out again.
You should.
That was over 20 years ago.
Yeah.
And I'm appalled the garbage that goes into our water system. I really am. It's crazy. So we have just 30 seconds again. Tell us your name again.
It's Fred DeFelice, Water Science US, 727-804-4562.
Awesome. Awesome. Thank you. And thank you for joining us. And give your water a serious thought. Is it what you think it is? Would you like to have better tasting water and maybe feel a little bit better possibly when you drink and can enjoy drinking your water? We're going to go ahead and take a break here on My Chamber TV. We'll be right back. Hi, everyone. Welcome back into My Chamber TV. We are the heartbeat of the community. I'm so glad that you were able to join us today. We're actually on location down here in Palm Harbor. We're featuring the Palm Harbor Chamber of Commerce. And my very next guest, I am excited to talk to about fitness and health and wellness, is Samantha Taylor from Samantha Taylor Fitness. Welcome.
Hi.
It's such a pleasure to have you with us. I love to talk to people about fitness because it is so important if we want to have longevity and if we want to live our life optimally.
Yes.
So tell us about your fitness and your program and how you can engage with our viewers today to be healthier.
Yes, so we have a personal training studio for women. We have 5 locations, and we just opened our 5th in Palm Harbor. And I've been doing this for 26 years, and it's just been a quarter of a century of my life that I've been a health and fitness expert. And we started serving mostly all women about 15 years ago. So personal training is typically all women anyway, so we just went women only because we felt like a lot of women really enjoy that environment where they can just be with themselves and feel comfortable. So we do 30-minute workouts, and we like to show people how you can just get an amazing workout in a short amount of time.
I love that, 30-minute workouts. I've done that before because, you know, I always say time is our most valuable commodity. But if we want to be successful in life, if we want to be successful in anything we do, it really starts from within.
Right.
Right?
It affects every area.
Doesn't it?
Yes.
It really does. It affects how you think, how you feel, your personality, your values, your ethics, everything. Because if you have a healthy temple, it all shows, right?
Definitely.
So a 30-minute workout for you, can you give us an idea on about what that entails?
So the goal with 30-minute workout is you need to use a lot of muscles. So the old school mindset with bodybuilding, like I've done fitness contests, is you want to isolate one muscle in a workout. Where functional training, if you do interval training, you work a lot of muscles at the same time. So you also get your heart rate up so that you're elevating your heart rate, you're working your muscles, you're feeling the effects of pushing your body. When I used to do hour-long workouts, I found that I just kind of dilly-dallied around. You know, when you've only got 30 minutes, you got to get it done.
Get it done. I love this concept. We're so on the same page. Those hour workouts, even 45 minutes, it's
They get kind of boring.
They get, not only do they get boring, but they're just like willy-nilly. It's like, oh, I'm not motivated.
Yeah.
I'm motivated to get in there and get out and move on. Again, going back to time is your most valuable commodity. Don't you find that when you're working out the day, and of course with your metabolism, it continues on even after the workout?
You do. They say you should work out in the morning. I say you should work out when you're going to do it.
Thank you.
Because I don't really work out in the morning myself. But if you work out in the morning, your mindset is more set to be a little bit healthier. Because you're like, you know, I got my butt out of bed. I'm going to be healthier today, and I'm going to eat healthier.
Yes.
So you too tend to kind of reset your metabolism for the morning in your mindset.
Exactly, and that carries you through the whole entire day. Can I just ask you, what made you get into this? I mean, you've been in this for 26 years. I mean, you only look like you're about 18, so.
Nice. I'm 44. My husband's almost 50, which is amazing. When we met, I was 17. He was 21. So he was a bodybuilder when I met him.
Cool.
So he started taking me to the gym, and I just fell in love what it did with my body.
Yes.
Like I literally, honestly, I found a picture of myself in a bathing suit from behind when I was 18, and I was like, oh my goodness, that's what it looks like back there. So I just made it my life since.
Yeah, you're committed. You're really committed, and that's what it takes. I met my husband at the gym, so I can relate to your story.
Where are you going to meet him? Hopefully not at a bar, but a gym, maybe.
Isn't that? And that wasn't my intention. It just happened to be that way. So you know, and it becomes a way of life. Do you have kids?
No, we were never able to have kids. So we have 3 Dobermans.
Those your kids.
Yes,
they're your
big
kids,
dogs.
and I bet they're healthy kids too.
They are.
Yeah. Oh, that's so great. So let's talk about food planning. Where are you with food planning? There is this diet and that diet, and oh my goodness, how does a person know what to eat along with a healthy exercise program?
Right.
Do you coach them through that as well?
That's a big part of it. You can't really have health and wellness without it. So when I was at a gym, I was a big corporate gym. Out of about 2,000 trainers, I was the #1 trainer in the company. And that was a testament to what we were doing with all these clients. We were getting amazing results. So when I left that gym and I opened my own place 17 years ago, the focus was always food, because you cannot get in amazing shape and lean out your body and feel amazing, have a mental clarity, all of that stuff, if your food isn't in line. Right. So I find that planning is critical, especially when you're really busy. I asked you what you did, and you gave me a list of like 50 things. So who are you? What do you do with your life? We're all busy. How do you get yourself to make sure you make health a priority?
Exactly.
That part is so critical. But planning your food, like next week we have a cooking class. We do cooking classes. We teach our members how to
Really?
Yeah, how to pre-prep food. We have a licensed nutritionist on staff now, so we have custom menu plans with. It's just amazing what we are transforming this company even into every single couple months that happens.
So this is so good to know. So you're in it to win it, all full scale, full circle, right?
Yeah, it's the only way to change their life.
Thank you.
Yeah.
That makes sense. It really does. Custom menu plans. Give us an idea, because I know what you're thinking out there. Well, I have this and that, and I can't do this and I can't do that. How do you customize? Let's take somebody, for example, without giving any names or anything, somebody that maybe you've worked with, that you've helped turn around, and maybe they had allergies, or you work with them, and now you have a nutritionist on staff to put this together.
I think the important thing is to meet people where they are, and I think that sometimes health professionals, we forget that we've been working on this forever, and when we get a new client, they're starting at ground zero, some of them. So to even tell them that they're going to stop eating sugar might totally freak them out and create a panic attack for some people, but the key is to know that you eat what you're accustomed to.
Yes.
You eat that way because you get used to it. You start to crave it. It just becomes part of your life. Eating healthy can be that same way. So we try to teach people that it's a small progression, that maybe you didn't eat this way in the beginning, but if you learn different foods you can have, like we just found this pasta that has no carbohydrates that tastes like regular pasta. I just ate it last night.
Really?
And me and my husband were eating this pasta. We're like, oh my gosh, if you gave it to someone that did not know, they may not know, not even know you replaced it with something else.
Wow.
So it's just knowing what can you eat in place of things that are spiking your blood sugar.
Yes. And so being in and out of the fitness world for some people, and talking to different professionals, there's a lot of different mindsets out there. I have to ask you this question, and I never put anybody on the spot, but I know you're a pro and you'll know how to answer this. How do you feel about the keto diet?
That's a really funny question. It's funny because the last 6 months, everyone asks me that, and they almost ask it secretly, like, how do you feel about the keto diet?
Just like I did.
Because there's a stigma around eating too much fat. There's a stigma that it's bad for us. That stigma has been pretty much debunked there's so much science. I actually believe that keto is a phenomenal way to eat. It is the best way, I believe, to balance your blood sugar, your cravings. You're not hungry. You lose all your cravings. The amount of food options to eat are endless. So keep in mind, people always ask, what's keto, what's Atkins? Atkins is more high protein, whereas keto is high fat. But our mind goes, oh, can I eat high fat? Is that going to clog my arteries? Is it going to give me heart disease? There's so much research that shows that that's actually not true at all. And there's a lot of resources. We do webinars every Monday night for our clients. So we teach about this. Now, when mentioning keto, some people aren't ready for that. Some people hear, oh my gosh, I got to lower my carbs, and they get kind of freaked out because they might have a slight carb addiction, right? So the goal is to say, well, where are you, and what small changes can you make to start getting your blood sugar more under control? To me, that's the first place, and then you'll find that you actually crave it less.
See, and that's it, is getting, like you said, meet people where they are and taking those little baby steps and finding out what they can do to make a change. That, to me, is doable. That makes sense.
Yeah.
But for people that are like, and their obesity, you probably have the numbers on obesity today and all the things that stem from obesity.
Yeah.
That alone, from diabetes to, oh my goodness, the list goes on and on. And the thing is what motivates people to not, or what demotivates people to take that weight off and get healthier? You know what I
find, like they say, you have to hit rock bottom. Some people have to reach a point where they just can't take it another day. Because some people have been 50 pounds overweight for years, so they get a little comfortable to it. They get a little bit used to it.
Accept it?
Yeah, they kind of accept it, that this is just who I am, this is me aging, but then some people say, no, this is not who I am, and I'm not going to accept this. And sometimes it's a painful moment, like they see a picture of themselves on Facebook that they were like, oh my gosh, who is that person?
Right, because if it's gradual, you don't notice it, right? You just don't notice it.
And then a lot of people don't take pictures of themselves, or forget it with social media, it's all over the place now. So the interesting part is that some people reach a point where they're just fed up, and they just can't do it another second. Some of them step on the scale and they're the heaviest weight they've ever been. Or someone asked them when their baby was due and they're not pregnant. That's the worst. Don't do that to people. You know, that is just so terrible.
Oh, dear.
And it's devastating. And we're like, I'm not pregnant, but I feel like I look like I am. So, and I only say that because a lot of women tell me that someone asked them that. So, you know, don't let it get to that place where you are doing it out of desperation. Don't wait till you're sick or you have some medical problem or you're diagnosed with diabetes. Stop it now, because you can do so much.
There is so much. And the thing is we've been talking about talking to professionals through this whole show today. And honestly, to me, the most important bottom line is you. To take care of yourself, take care of your body, take care of what goes into your body, set an example for your family, your children, your grandchildren. We're coming down to the close of this, but I had a couple of accidents last year, and I gained probably at least 7 or 8 pounds of I sure don't want to have on me from being on a walker, the torn meniscus, healed it myself without surgery, and all of that. So I know what you're saying. It's so great to have you with us. Tell everyone how they can get a hold of you, okay, Samantha?
You can go to SamanthaTaylorFitness.com. We have 5 locations. You can call us at 813-377-3739.
Awesome. You are awesome. I will
you.
definitely send women over
right.
there. Maybe you'll see me.
All right.
All right. Thank you.
Bye.
We're going to take a break, and we'll be right back in just a little bit. And we're going to talk more here on My Chamber TV in Palm Harbor. Hi, everyone. Welcome back into My Chamber TV. It is the heartbeat of the Tampa Bay area. I'm Barbara Marville Kelly, and we are on location. We are featuring, now let me get this right, the Greater Palm Harbor Area Chamber of Commerce.
Well, I think it's great.
I do.
I guess you could call it
I
great.
do, but I get it screwed up every once in a while. Anyway, Skip Alford is the main person over there, and we love having you on our show because you just let so much roll off of your tongue on what's going on. And has it been a couple of years yet?
It's been a year and a half.
Yeah, almost 2 years when you took over.
Yeah, I've been the president and CEO there for about a year and a half now.
How fun, and what major changes have been going on?
Yeah, a lot of good things.
I know. So you've got a lot to talk about, right? We've had a great show so far, great guests as always. So what's happening now?
Well, the fact that you had great guests, prior to me coming on is just a testament of the new energy we have, that's being instilled in our Chamber of Commerce. More and more people are coming on board now that we have incredible resources to get exposure up to worldwide.
Yes.
And you can't, just do that for what we can offer, especially for the price point that we offer. It is a business organization. So everything that we do as a Chamber of Commerce is designed to enhance business, enhance the quality of life of Palm Harbor, and obviously drive business to our Chamber partners. And I do call them partners because it is a business organization that they're investing in. I think it's more of a true partnership than a membership. You're a member of the gym, you're a member of this club, that club, but in a Chamber of Commerce, you're investing in something bigger, stronger, that not only benefits you, your family, your business, but the whole community in general.
Yes. I remember when you first switched over to that, to calling them partners, because they really are. And it's almost like a business family partnership. Because everyone is so engaged in the community, and you give back. Everybody just pitches in when there's events coming up, and because you're a member of the Chamber of Commerce, what is important is for you to understand to get involved. It's not like you sign up, pay your dues, and we talk about that every show. It's so important to really get involved. Some of the different events that you have coming up here in the next month or so, what's going on, just to give our viewers an idea?
Well, probably our biggest annual event that involves the entire community is coming up next month. It's called Citrus Fest. Now, I know that that's an interesting name for an event. It goes back in history when a lot of the area that we're, in fact, probably sitting on right now used to be a lot of orange groves, a lot of lemons, a lot of things like that, a lot of citrus fruit, so that they named the festival Citrus Fest, and they've kept that all these years. But it's really designed to reach out to the entire county and give families a time to come out over 4 days and enjoy just being a family, rides for the kids, food's provided. It's right downtown in historic Palm Harbor. So we bring as many people as we can down to have fun, to experience everything that Palm Harbor has to offer. And, you know, obviously, the family is important. It's an important aspect of our Chamber of Commerce, because that's one thing that we're empowered to do is provide assistance to the kids graduating high school, scholarships through our foundation. So Palm Harbor being just a big community, you know, full of families, well, I felt like, and the board felt like, that we need to do events and focus more on family types of venues.
Exactly.
So that's going to be our huge venue taking place next month, April 4th through the 7th. Come on down to Palm Harbor, bring the kids, and have a fantastic time. You won't regret it.
Oh, the Citrus Festival is so much fun. It really is. And, you know, to be able to get involved with the community, and you run into the partners in the community as well, and with the chamber and all of that. I love it. Absolutely love it. Yeah. And so for a year and a half now, gosh, I remember when you first took over, and, you know, it took a while to find you. Well,
it was time to evolve the Chamber of Commerce. And, you know, the first thing I thought about was, well, if I'm encouraging businesses to invest in our chamber to benefit them as well as the whole community, we need resources worthy of investing in. I mean, nobody goes to Publix and gives the cashier $150 when the shelves are bare.
That's right.
You know, and I felt strongly about, if I'm encouraging people to be involved, let's have resources worth investing in. So now, through our chamber website, every chamber partner has literally their own portal to where they can put YouTube video, you know, the caliber that this is filmed on, testimony, statistics, reviews, anything that they want to do. It's basically their own blog that literally gives every chamber partner in this Chamber of Commerce worldwide exposure. Now, I don't know where you can get that type of resource for an annual investment that we charge a minimum of $305 for an entire year, worldwide exposure.
See, I'm glad that you said that, because that is where everything is and is going, is through video and blogging. And to be a member of the chamber for 1 year, and to be able to come on My Chamber TV, and you have this worldwide exposure. And it really does make it worthwhile. And then you take your video clip and then you push it out into social media. I mean, it's a win-win situation.
It is, Barbara. It's a win-win. And like I said, the investment is incredibly meager, but it's an investment that you get a maximum bang for your buck. And not only that, you know, while we're here, just in general, just while we're living life, it's so important to experience, you know, the other people around us. And it gives us a chance to put together great venues where you can meet friends for life. And have amazing relationships.
Yes.
And if somebody that, you know, meets you doesn't necessarily have the capacity to do business with you, chances are you'll know 50, 100 people that can. So that's the whole beauty of the Chamber of Commerce, is you have that networking aspect. But more than that, it's lifelong relationships.
Yes.
It's time to build that, and we have it in a venue that is no pressure, no threat. All we do is ask that if you invest, come out and enjoy the venues and be part of it. You know, I always think about an example. My father told me, he goes, you know, people sometimes think that they can prosper just by osmosis. And that's not necessarily true. You know, people don't go fishing and just sit in the boat and wait for the fish to jump in the boat. You know, I know they say, well, I'm fishing, but you have to cast. You have to, you know, go out and you have to do something to gain, you know, that involvement.
Yes.
And it's the same way with the Chamber of Commerce. Now, I will confess that we do have such good resources that you don't have to come to chamber events constantly, even though we love that and we want that. But now, if you're busy, and a lot of small business owners are terribly busy.
Absolutely.
You know, and if you can't make it to a chamber venue, now that's okay. We've got your back. And now I've got the resources to have your back and to market you, to get the word out about you, the social media aspects of everything we do. Then now, if you can't make a chamber function, that's okay. The other half of me being a chamber CEO is, if you're too busy to come and too busy to talk to me, good. That's good. You know, I love that. So that's what we're trying to do, is give everybody, especially the partners of the chamber, a chance to be all that they can be as far as advertising, marketing, relationship building. We're trying to be the one-stop shop for information for the whole area, that if anybody needs to know what's happening when it's going on, we know all of that and can pass that information on to anybody at will.
And I'll tell you, Palm Harbor is just really the go-to place. If you're watching the show, you're out of the area, you're thinking of where to move to, you know, come on down here to Palm Harbor. As I always say this, I moved my mom down here to Palm Harbor because I love the community, I love the people, I love all the businesses that are here, and you have easy access. In and out.
Barbara, it's a perfect place to live. We're within 30, 45 minutes of any type of major life function you want to partake in. You know, the theater, sports, fishing, kayaking, boating, biking, camping, shooting, growing your own strawberries, whatever. But this is like the perfect place to live in the United States. We're so blessed to be here. And that's why I think that the Chamber of Commerce has an important role to play in the future prosperity of this whole area. And that's why I take it real serious, and I want other people to be part of it as well.
Yes, and it really is family oriented.
Yes.
You know, people are under the misguidance that this is all retired senior citizens.
That's not the case at all.
It is so not the case. It really isn't. And you know, you come to Florida, you can have all this wonderful weather and engage yourself in the community and really partner up with other business owners.
Exactly.
And when you join a chamber or get involved with a chamber, you're going to see that every single business owner that is a partner in the Palm Harbor Chamber of Commerce is committed 100%. And that's what you want. You need a business, you need an electrician, you need air conditioning company, whatever it is. You need a great restaurant. I mean, this is your go-to source.
Right. And I mean, Barbara, you know as well as I do, it gets warm here in the summer. And when somebody's air conditioner goes out, they don't want to wait till next week or next month to fix it. They want it fixed right now.
That's right.
And that's what the Chamber of Commerce provides, is that person, that company to go to get that done. You know, when your plumbing backs up, you know, do you want to wait another week or two to get that fixed? Nope, you want that fixed right now.
Exactly.
So that's what, when I said one-stop shop, you know, the Chamber of Commerce should have every aspect of life in the local community as part of that, so everybody knows who to call when it happens.
Yes.
And that's one thing that I think is essential, that we have a dynamic, diverse Chamber of Commerce that covers all aspects of the community, which right now it's almost there. We haven't just an amazing dynamic membership, and I'm going to take it a little higher as we go and continue to push to get more people involved and, you know, and participate in the growth of our community. I mean, even the talent the schools here put out.
Yes,
I mean,
yes.
Barbara, the other day we were at an awards luncheon that we have for the quarterly awards luncheon for the local high schools, and one of the graduates, one of the award winners, aced their ACT test.
Wow.
I've never heard of that in my life.
Wow.
So obviously the teachers, principals, the leaders of our education here are doing an amazing job. So once again, that's just another added aspect, of the incredible community that is Palm Harbor.
Yes.
It's a perfect place to live.
Yes, it truly is. And if you want to know more about the Palm Harbor Chamber of Commerce, how do we get a hold of you, Skip?
I'm going to give my cell phone to call.
Oh,
That's right. This is how serious I am. So if anybody's watching this and wants to know how serious we are about including you and have you as part of this partnership, my cell number is 850-628-3490. I'll say it again, 850-628-3490. That is my personal cell number. And if you're interested in being part of this amazing organization, you please give me a call or shoot me a text.
I love it. The CEO is giving you his cell phone number, and I think that's great. Well, you really have a passion for the chamber. You have a passion for the community. You live in the community, and you're really an added plus since you've taken over, Skip. You truly are.
It means a lot. Thank you.
I know. And then, of course, we've got our show. It's time to wind down and say our goodbyes for today. So thank you, my friend.
Thank you for having me. Thank you for having all the chamber.
Yes, it was a great show right here in Palm Harbor. We'll be back next week.